let's start with this. What can we believe from the reports today? What's going on at Hallis Hall?
Man, guys, honestly, like, I need a break and a nap. I need a juice box. I need someone to tell me that everything's okay. Like, it has been quite the day here in Chicago, to tell you the truth. I think that what you saw was the culmination of some frustration from Justin Fields. And honestly, I appreciated him saying, I can get better, but I also need to be myself. I need to play the way that made the Bears offense in the middle part to latter part of the season last year successful. It seems like, and Shaun could probably speak to this better than I can, it seems like they took what they were trying to do at the beginning of the season last year and put it back into the offense, where they're saying, Justin, you need to win from the pocket, win from the pocket. And while I don't disagree with that, in theory, I think in practice, it's harder to do that than asking a guy to kind of incrementally add some things to his pocket presence, instead of him going through these progressions and not feeling comfortable enough to leave the pocket and use one of the biggest weapons he has. It's like asking Thanos to not use one of the Infinity Stones. It's kind of crazy to me.
Let me ask you this, Laurence. If Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy were there when the Justin Fields draft occurred, knowing what you know about them so far, would they have selected Justin Fields?
It's a great question. And honestly, I remember thinking back in that draft that the Bears had a chance to get Justin Fields. And I was shocked, because if you remember, if you follow Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields going all the way back to 7th grade, these two dudes were 1 and 2.
Yeah, both from Georgia too.
Right? Like they have been chasing each other since they were 12 years old. So getting to that draft and then seeing people not like Justin Fields for whatever reason, and that's their choice, I was a little bit surprised. Chicago was hyped when there was an opportunity to get Justin Fields, because they had seen him play that 2020 season and see him be tough as nails in the college football playoffs and all of the great things, the great throws that he made. I feel like if Ryan Poles instead of Ryan Pace were in charge, he would not have drafted Justin
And
Fields.
I think that's what you see occurring. Everybody can look next year and know that this upcoming draft, from a talent standpoint, it's going to have a lot of really talented quarterbacks that are slightly different. So you're kind of going to get to pick exactly what you want. And considering that this management coaching staff didn't draft Justin, they inherited him, I think they're basically saying, listen, Justin, do it this way. And if he can do it this way, they're going to move forward with him. And if he can't, then I think they're going to go to the owner and say, we tried everything we could. Let us get somebody that we think fits what we want to do offensively. And it's unfortunate for Justin that he got caught in the middle of Matt Nagy being fired and Matt Eberflus being hired, but it's a National Football League. Most likely won't be the last time that he's involved with some kind of coaching change.
Shaun, I got to tell you, though, man, I hate that. I hate the not my guy thing, because it happened. Honestly, like, real talk, I think it happened with Roquan Smith last year.
100%.
This is an all-pro player that was
and the other D lineman.
And
the other D lineman. And they let 2 Pro Bowl defensive players go in that front.
Right. Yeah, you let a 25-year-old all-pro player go, and it felt like you let him go because he wasn't your guy. And the stuff that they're doing with Justin, where whether I'm talking with Shaun or I'm talking with Matt Bowen, who played in the league, or Tim Jenkins or Brian Baldinger, when you guys can look at the tape of how Justin's setup is and notice that they've now asked him to start his drop with his right foot back instead of his left foot. Like, all of this stuff that they're trying to teach him to do because Aaron Rodgers did it that way. And I have a lot of questions about some of the guys that get hired in the NFL because of their proximity to great quarterbacks. And I think, honestly, when you look at Nathaniel Hackett and Luke Getsy.
Oh, don't get me started on Hackett.
We in the same spot on this. Look. You were standing next to a quarterback that didn't need your help. Now that quarterback may have appreciated all the things that you've done for him and the things that he asked you to do, but let's not get it twisted. By the time that Luke Getsy and Nathaniel Hackett got to Aaron Rodgers was full-blown Aaron Rodgers. Like, he didn't need anyone to hold his hand. He didn't need anyone to teach him how to play quarterback. None of that stuff. So these guys, to me, don't have a resume of working with a young quarterback and getting them to the heights. What they have is a resume that is filled with a guy who already had MVPs. And they were just kind of there to help him not get off track.
And I think that's Laurence, what you hear, the frustration coming from Justin, because he knows that you can tell when you're in a room if the position coach really digs me. Like, if I'm his guy or not, you can tell. And my advice to Justin would be, it's imperfect, but you can't let it turn you into the apprehensive player you were against Tampa. Like, if you're going to say, this is not a fit for me, then do what you want to do in the game and try your best to make it work. Because what happened in Tampa, he just looked bad because he was holding the ball. He was frustrated. You know, kind of for the first time in a while, I kind of saw some of that bad body language come back. I'm sure it doesn't hurt that, you know, the other young kid on the offense, Chase Claypool, they were talking about making him inactive and trading him because of his attitude. So you can just tell that inside that building is not a healthy environment.
No, I mean, and the other stories coming out inside the building today probably lend itself more to that. But
we don't want to get raided. Be careful what you say here, Laurence.
You gotta be very careful. And Shaun, you and I had this conversation about a year and a half ago. You came on my podcast and you like, hey, I've been watching the tape of Justin Fields and there's some things that I don't like, but you said, I do think that there's a lot there that you can work with. All I'm asking any coach to do at the professional level is when you do have the raw materials, work with the guy and show me that you're a great coach. Don't show me that you came from a great system. Show me that you're a great coach and that you can take a guy that maybe is imperfect because there are not a lot of perfect quarterback candidates out there, and you can help make him better. That's what we're not seeing with the Bears. I'm glad that Justin kind of took it into his own hands today and said, look, I'm going to try to get back to who I was and playing a little bit more free. And I wish him a lot of luck because Chicago wants that kid to succeed.
They do.
They really do. Like, he is likable. People like look at him and say, man, this is a new day. But what we're used to seeing is quarterbacks, whether they're good or not good, being ruined. And that's what it feels like we're moving towards. So hopefully he can straighten the whole thing out because it would be dope if Justin Fields was that dude.
All right, Laurence Holmes, Chicago, 670 to score. Got about 40 seconds left. This is a gambling network. We got to try and make some money. So, I mean, are these issues going to galvanize Chicago and they come up with their best performance versus Kansas City? Or can we go and dip into the kids' college funds and put all our money on the Chiefs to not only win but cover this number?
I saw the number at 14.5 when the line first opened, and I was like, yeah, you should probably do that. This week, I can't imagine with everything that's going on at Hallis Hall that the Bears are going to be prepared to play. I would pound KC in the number. As weird as it sounds, I would absolutely destroy that number. I might even go alternate line, fellas.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.